Hello and welcome to Fast and Factual. My name is Utsav Parekh and here are the top stories of the day. Pakistan has announced the end of the 30-hour-long hijack of a train in Balochistan. The Pakistani army said that at least 33 militants and 21 hostages were killed. The Balochistan Liberation Army, or BLA, claimed responsibility for the hijacking. The BLA militants blew up a railway track and fired rockets at a train carrying 440 people. Syria's new authorities have announced that they are forming a National Security Council. The body will be chaired by their interim president, Ahmed al-Shara, also known as Abu Muhammad al-Julani. Syria's new Security Council will manage security and political policies. Iran's Supreme Leader Ayatollah Ali Khamenei has dismissed negotiations with the US over Iran's nuclear program. This was after US President Donald Trump sent a letter to Iran urging talks. Trump had earlier warned of possible US military action. Khamenei called Trump's threats unwise, adding that Iran was equally capable of retaliation. Meanwhile, Trump has issued a warning to Russia. He said that if Russia blocked a ceasefire deal with Ukraine, it could result in disastrous repercussions. Trump said that Moscow might face financial obstacles if it doesn't accept the 30-day truce proposal. Trump also confirmed that US officials have left for Russia to hold ceasefire talks. Russia's President Vladimir Putin visited Kursk for the first time since Ukraine attacked the region. During his visit, Putin ordered Russian troops to liberate the area completely. He also said that captured Ukrainian troops should be treated as terrorists. European defense ministers met in Paris to discuss the bloc's boost in defense and security guarantees for Ukraine. Leaders from Britain, France, Germany, Italy and Poland attended the meeting. Ukraine's defense minister was also invited for the talks to discuss aid for his country. The meeting was aimed at backing Ukraine for a possible future peace deal. Violent clashes broke out in Argentina's capital, Buenos Aires. Security forces confronted anti-government protesters. People were staging demonstrations against President Javier Milei's pension reforms. The protests were to oppose his cuts on retirement benefits, seeking improved payments and a reversal of the reductions. The Indian Space Research Organisation, or ISRO, has completed the undocking of its two SpaDex satellites. The undocking process involved a precise sequence of events. The space docking experiment mission was launched on December 30th last year. The success has paved the way for more space missions. NASA has announced the delay of the NASA SpaceX Crew 10 mission. The launch is intended to facilitate the return of two stranded astronauts, Sunita Williams and Butch Wilmore. The mission was delayed due to a technical issue. The space agency said that the next launch would possibly be on March 15th. South Korean investigators charged two Air Force pilots for criminal negligence. This is after an accidental bombing struck a civilian area in Pocheon during a training exercise last week. The mishap injured 29 people and caused extensive property damage. Investigators confirmed the pilot error. Further probes are still underway. Moving to climate news, climate activists from Just Stop Oil staged a dramatic protest at a Tesla store in London. They poured orange liquid latex over a humanoid robot named Optimus. The protest against the electric car maker's boss, Elon Musk, and the company has not yet responded to the incident. Just Stop Oil, known for high-profile demonstrations, continues to call for an end to new oil and gas extraction in the UK by the year 2030. The city of Loja in southern Ecuador is grappling with severe flooding. This is after the Malacatos River overflowed due to heavy rainfall. The local mayor announced emergency efforts to clear debris and restore infrastructure. while Ecuador's Risk Management Secretariat reported that at least 25 rivers across the country have already burst their banks, with 30 more rising. In Bolivia's mountainous Avacha region, severe flooding has destroyed homes. The extreme weather has also wiped out crucial potato and barley crops. The flooding, triggered by rivers overflowing due to relentless rain, has left around 6,000 people affected. Desperate residents were seen wading through water to rescue stranded livestock, while civil defense teams worked to assess the damage. The Trump administration in the US has launched a sweeping rollback of environmental regulations. They have dismantled more than 30 rules designed to limit air and water pollution. Among the most significant changes are the repeal of Biden-era emission standards for power plants and vehicles, as well as a narrowing of Clean Water Act protections. These moves that could benefit industries like coal manufacturing and fossil fuel extraction. Ireland has pledged $16.3 million to Brazil's Amazon Fund. This marks its first ever contribution to the Rainforest Preservation Initiative. The donation, to be distributed over 3 years, adds Ireland to a growing list of countries supporting efforts to combat deforestation and promote sustainable development in the world's largest tropical rainforest. Now for business and tech news, the US Labor Department reported a 0.2% increase in February's consumer price index. This has put the annual inflation rate at 2.8%. It was 3% in January. However, experts believe that the improvement is temporary due to the uncertainty posed by new US tariffs. The US budget deficit for the first 5 months of the fiscal 2025 hit a record $1.147 trillion, while the deficit for February, which was the first full month of Trump's presidency, stood at $307 billion. The report suggests that the results showed little impact of Trump's initial import tariffs and efforts to slash government spending so far. Canada has announced $20 billion in retaliatory tariffs against the US. The move came after the Trump administration levied a 25% duty on steel and aluminium imports. Meanwhile, incoming Canadian Prime Minister Mark Carney has said that he's ready to negotiate a new trade deal with the US and US President Donald Trump if the country's sovereignty is respected. The US Federal Trade Commission has taken a U-turn from its attorney's statements, which suggested that the September trial against Amazon needs to be delayed due to a shortfall of resources caused by cost-cutting measures. The agency accused Amazon of tricking consumers into enrolling into automatically renewing Prime subscriptions in the year 2023. Spirit Airlines is set to rebrand itself as a premium airline. The company will shift focus to more affluent travelers. It believes that the move will generate 13% more revenue. This comes as the US carrier emerged from bankruptcy protection after 4 months. The company filed for bankruptcy protection in November last year after reporting a net loss of $1.2 billion. Mallinckrodt and Endo are reportedly exploring a potential merger valued at $7 billion. The reported terms of the deal would give both drug makers roughly 50% ownership of the combined entity. Both companies have faced bankruptcies and lawsuits over their alleged role in the US opioid epidemic in recent years. Inditex, the owner of the retail clothing chain Zara, reported a slower start to its first quarter. This has raised concerns over the company's ability to keep building on rapid recent growth. The company shares plunged by more than 8% in early trading yesterday after the report. Intel has named Lip-Bu Tan as its new CEO. He's the company's former board member and a chip industry veteran. The appointment comes 3 months after the ouster of Pat Gelsinger. The chipmaker's shares surged 12% after the announcement. Adobe has posted its second quarter revenue forecast in line with market expectations. The company predicted a revenue between $5.77 and $5.82 billion. The company's shares fell by 4% this week. Adobe is struggling with slower monetization of its artificial intelligence offerings amid high competition. Sentinel-1 has posted its first quarter and annual revenue below market expectations. The company has predicted its annual revenue will be between $1.01 and $1.012 billion, while analysts' average estimates was $1.03 billion. Sentinel-1 predicted its first quarter revenue at $228 million, opposed to market expectations of around $235 million. Moving to sports, we start with cricket. London's Lord's Cricket Ground will reportedly lose over $5 million in revenue in the World Test Championship final. This comes after India failed to qualify for the summit clash. The organisers had previously priced tickets at a premium, confident over India's participation, but now they're forced to lower prices. In football, Barcelona beat Benfica 3-1 in the Champions League to advance to the Champions League quarter-finals. Teenager Lamine Yamal starred with a stunning assist for Rafinha to open the scoring. Yamal then topped it with a strike to put Barca 2-1 ahead on the night and 3-1 ahead on aggregate. Rafinha struck again with a clinical finish to give Barca its coveted win. Arsenal have entered the quarterfinals of the Champions League after beating PSV Eindhoven in the round of 16. The Gunners walked into the second leg with a 7-1 lead over the Dutch club. Goals from Alexander Zinchenko and Declan Rice helped Arsenal beat PSV 9-3 on aggregate. In tennis, women's world number one Aryna Sabalenka cruised into the quarterfinals at Indian Wells. Sabalenka reported a commanding straight-set win over Sone Kartal of the United Kingdom. Sabalenka took just 72 minutes to secure her place in the final 8. Men's world number 3 Carlos Alcaraz entered the Indian Wells quarterfinals. The Spaniard dropped just 2 games in difficult windy conditions to send his Bulgarian opponent packing in straight sets. By booking his place in a 4th consecutive quarterfinal at Indian Wells, Alcaraz extended his win streak at the event to 15 matches. Men's world number 4 Taylor Fritz crashed out of Indian Wells. Fritz lost to Britain's Jack Draper 5-7, 4-6 in their round of 16 clash. Draper will next face Ben Shelton in the quarterfinals. In badminton, star Indian shuttler PV Sindhu crashed out of the All England Open. The double Olympic medalist lost to South Korea's Kim Ga-eun 21-19, 13-21, 13-21 in the first round. Sindhu struggled to find her rhythm in the last 2 games, where Kim dictated the rallies with surprising ease. The match lasted a little more than an hour. In men's doubles, India's Satwik Sairaj Rankireddy and Chirag Shetty advanced in the All England Open. The former world number 1 men's doubles pair beat their Danish opponents in straight sets. The duo will next face China's Chang Weihan and Shai Honan. In the women's doubles, India's Gayatri Gopichand and Trisa Jolly also advanced in the All England Open. The Indians beat a Taiwanese pair in straight sets 21-17, 21-13. The highlight of the match was a 105-shot rally towards the back end of the second game. The Indians won both the last game and the match after several miraculous saves. In Formula One, Stefano Domenicali will remain at the helm of Formula One until at least the end of 2029. This comes after the 59-year-old was handed a 5-year contract extension by the sport's commercial rights holders, Liberty Media. And finally, for entertainment news, Joey, the Friends spin-off centered on Matt LeBlanc's beloved character, has resurfaced online. The official Friends YouTube channel has uploaded the first 2 episodes of the 2004 series, marking the first time that Joey has been widely available since its original run. The show follows the character Joey Tribbiani as he moves to Hollywood to advance his acting career. George R.R. Martin is hyping up a Knight of the Seven Kingdoms. Martin confirmed that he has seen the first season and is thrilled with the adaptation. The upcoming Game of Thrones spin-off, based on his tales of Dunk and Egg novellas, is set 90 years before Game of Thrones, and the show follows Sir Duncan the Tall and his young squire, Egg. Sadie Sink, best known for her role in Stranger Things, is making her Marvel Cinematic Universe debut with Spider-Man 4. While details about her character remain under wraps, industry reports suggest that she will play a significant role. The MCU has not commented on the casting. Ahead of Invincible's highly anticipated Season 3 finale, Amazon has dropped a first look at the climactic showdown between Mark Grayson and Conquest. Showrunner Robert Kirkman hinted at the emotional stakes of the finale, revealing that Mark is at his lowest point after witnessing alternate versions of himself destroy planets. Gigi Hadid is opening up about her relationship with Bradley Cooper, confirming that their romance is going strong after more than a year together. In an interview, the supermodel shared how they first met at a backyard party for a mutual friend's child. "I respect him so much as a creative," she said in an interview. She added that his encouragement has boosted her confidence in taking risks. That's all for this episode of Fast and Factual. Thank you for watching and stay tuned to Firstpost.